Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Behind the Counter. I'm your host, Vicente, and this is the podcast presented by Kaizen, where we take you behind the scenes of retail technology, and we let you know about the trends, insights, and everything from people that live and breathe all of this on every day. If you have a broken coffee machine, an app that is not scanning a QR barcode, or a backed up line because the register is slow, what's in common there? It's moments where technology was supposed to help you to do something and instead is creating friction. And a lot of the times in my mind, this creates a gap between what the executive board thinks is happening versus what is actually happening in the store. And joining me today are the architects of a network designed to close that gap, to get people together so they can talk about it. So not to compete with each other, but start solving problems. Please welcome Myra Kressner and Ed Collupy. Did I got that?
Collupy.
Collupy. I'm so sorry,
No
even though I
worries.
asked you. Ed Collupy from the Vision Group Network. How are you guys?
I'm great.
Wonderful.
I'm very, very thankful for you guys to be here.
Thank you.
Normally, we talk with providers, retailers, and, it's a different conversation. But you guys are doing something entirely different. You guys have a think tank of sorts. Can you tell us briefly what the vision groups are?
So we are a group of virtual think tanks
Okay.
that meet once a quarter
Okay.
for 2 hours, and we facilitate the discussion
Mm-hmm.
that's made up of, say, between 10 and 20 retail companies
Okay.
and a smaller number of solution providers and suppliers. And with Ed, who facilitates our convenience technology vision group, which is one of 8
Okay.
that we run in the U.S. and around the world. But Ed has been running the convenience technology vision group. We'll focus on one topic
Okay.
for each meeting, but then open it up to all of the members to then talk about that given topic, as well as other things that they want to talk about,
Okay.
either beyond that particular point or something entirely different. And Ed just does a great job of corralling all of the conversation.
Well, thanks. But yeah, in the conversations that we've had over the several years we've been doing Convenience Technology Vision Group have ranged from point of sale to AI to, what's happening, cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, all the hot topics, right? And we're looking forward to this year with some new topics.
Actually, I want to start with a question there. What would you say is the thing that everyone is talking about this year or in preparation for 2026?
So the Vision Group Network had a global summit. So
Okay.
they brought all the vision groups together for a conversation
Cool.
back in
November.
in
of last
November,
year.
yeah.
Okay,
And
okay.
as we listened through that, there were a number of topics that came up in terms of this is what convenience retailers in particular, are looking
Right,
for
right.
in the next year. So I took that data and did a survey among our Convenience Technology Vision Group members, and what came back as like the number one need is for improved integration.
That's
so-
fascinating.
Yeah. So we're working to bring together a conversation,
Right, right.
For our March meeting that will focus in on that topic.
That's fascinating because, I work on the engineering side, and you're mentioning AI, cybersecurity. Obviously, those are at the forefront of every single thing that we build, every single thing that we do, right? Everyone is wanting to do AI. Cybersecurity, to me personally, is one of the biggest things that everyone needs to think about. Whether they are doing it or not, they need to think about it. But knowing that the need out there is integrations is fantastic.
Right.
Especially whenever you have nowadays so many providers that have great platforms, that have great offerings. How do you make them work together on the pieces that you need them to? Not everyone is going to be great at everything they do, right? Or at everything there is, sorry. They're going to be great at something. So we
Yeah.
need them to play to their strengths.
Part of the objective was in the integration is to keep and make things simple, right?
Yes.
So it needs to be simple. So the folks view integration as getting to simplicity at the store.
Agree?
Yeah. So it would be again, simplicity, efficiency, and dealing with what have been affectionately, perhaps, called the legacy system.
Yeah.
So, I was just at a workshop this morning that talked about that traditionally it's been 10 to 12 years that people have been looking to put a platform in place or a system in place. So in terms of your ROI, your investment, your efficiency, say, traditionally it's been 10 to 12 years. So the question now is, how do we build in the ROI over 12 years, but at the same time, the flexibility to quickly adapt and bring in new technology and new systems that is happening so quickly.
Right.
One of our clients, and I'm glad that you mentioned this because one of our clients in one conversation, we were asking them for some solution, if they were thinking this solution to be an interim patch, something that they wanted to mature to a 5 to 7 years, or they wanted to be a long-term. And what they responded was fascinating to me because they said, like, I want it to be a solid product, but I know that the moment I put it in pilot, I'm going to start looking for the next one immediately. So it makes me think that the ROI is no longer this long-term commitment to one single brand all the time. I want to be able to mature and speed my delivery. I want to be able to get the new trends that maybe some other company has today faster. That's a great point.
Yeah. So also the event that we were at yesterday, Ed, I don't know, is incrementality a proper term
Right.
to use?
From now on, you heard it first. Incrementality was born here by Myra Kressner and Behind the Counter.
Well, I don't think so. But am I correct that that's a lot of what we're hearing, that you have to start somewhere?
Yes.
Right.
And you start with your strategy or your vision.
Right.
Okay, this is where we need to get where we want to get, but we can't necessarily get there today.
Right.
And so we do it incrementally.
For software development, that's more or less the path, right? We are no longer in this ability in this mindset of I'm going to pay my developers for building something for 9 months and then we're going to put the whole thing out there in production. That doesn't work anymore. I need something that I can put out there quickly and try it out, test it. If it doesn't work, okay, good. But I need to do it with quality because I cannot just do something patchy that is going to break my whole chain, just trying it out, this idea, right? The way you mentioned incrementality makes me think that this is just a scale all the way, not just with one software, with my whole technology strategy. Is that aligned with that mentality?
Absolutely. And I had a conversation with a large convenience retailer just last week who is implementing a new point of sale system. But, they're far along in their journey, but, not in terms of implementations and execution yet.
Right.
It's all in planning stages, which is a component of getting there.
Yes.
But the work that they've been doing with the point of sale solution has already got them thinking about what's next.
Yes.
And how we're going to add on and how we'll use this system to help us, get there further with the idea back to the whole idea of, incrementality and integration. Right?
And to get to scale.
Which
is, So it's the stages that you need to do it. And we keep hearing you need the strategy.
Yes.
So you need to put the strategy in place to get there. So you start with, what is my need, right?
Yeah.
What is my need? And then put the systems in place to get there.
A lot of the conversations we have with our clients start there because in my mind, I think it's easy to imagine a future state to say, I like this vision for my store. I want my customers to have these experiences. But it's not something that you do by tonight I close my store with my legacy system, and using the word legacy here, and tomorrow I wake up with my new system. There is a period of time in which you have to transition. You have to get from A to B. One of our architects called that the messy middle, which is all of the pieces in which I have too many things moving on, but I cannot break my financials, I cannot break my operations, I cannot break my supply chain, nothing, right? I still have to operate, maybe have to operate with some manual processes for a little bit before I get there. Scale is one of the easy ones to forget because pilot normally works in one store or an MVP one in which you have a reduced functionality. Everyone cheers, pat themselves in the back, like, and then what's next? How do you go there from your full chain? Yeah, go ahead.
The other thought that you're bringing to mind is something that we heard yesterday about team leaders' roles, right? That a very key role is to keep the lights on. And that's much like what you just were saying about you can't mess with the financials. You can't, you have to, some things are just foundational.
Yeah.
And you have to build off of those, but not break those things.
Which then also means, when you talk about integration, it means in bringing the different business units.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yes.
So that it's not just IT saying, this is what we need.
Yeah.
Or the CEO or the marketing folks saying, this is what we need. You need to really integrate and be able to bring together, again, your peers within the different business units to understand what the company needs.
And some of the great discussions we've had at Convenience Technology Vision Group have been when we've either had an IT leader invite somebody from a peer in their organization from another, whether it's marketing or it's another executive, but folks have come along and those discussions just blossom when you have multiple voices across the business.
Well, and from execution standpoint, to make that reality, it's way easier whenever you have the buy-in from the whole organization and everyone knows what's in it for them. It's way easier to move forward than that if you're trying to run a transformation program fighting everyone. Because no IT leader told them at the beginning, you are going to be better off with this new platform, or let me help you think how you can be better off. Because status quo is comfortable, it works. Why mess up with it? Well, let me show you some advantages. And I've been in those two sides, in projects that flow really well because everyone was on board, and projects in which every single step of the line was fighting with someone to explain why we're doing this.
So that point goes to the human piece of it.
Absolutely.
Which we keep having to come back to, is how glamorous and exceptional the technology is, but you cannot remove the human piece.
100%. Technology, to me, systems is something we do to help someone. Systems do not exist with people, in my mind. Any piece of software was built to help someone to do something. It doesn't matter if it's a script to help me automate something, or if it's an application that is truly helping a person out there to keep their medical records, and retail technology to go and shop the seamless way, as seamlessly as possible they can do. So it's always for people. You cannot remove the human factor there.
So it is then, how does the technology help that human perform better, to be more efficient, to be better informed, to be able to make those, how does the human make better decisions using the AI or whatever systems are out there to make those decisions?
Yeah, I mean, AI is only going to work based on what each one of us continues to ask it, give it some more data points, but it's only going to work with human interaction.
Human absolutely.
And without that, I think you'll get false data back.
Well, we've seen it.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it as much as how it has improved all of the, the answers, whether it's Claude or ChatGPT or whatever it is that you're using, open. It's improved, but still you do need that last 1%, 5%, 10% to be able to say this is correct or not correct, or this is right for my company or my team or for my website or not.
Yeah. And there is a lot of critical thinking needed when operating these tools. Because if you do not, for software development, there's a conversation we were having in the team, like, how can we use it to develop software faster? Like, okay, yeah, you can use it to spit out, application in a weekend, because that's a lot of what people go and tell everyone. Hey, I built this software in a weekend and I just vibe coded it. Sure, but is it good? Is it secure? Are you going to scale?
Exactly.
How flexible it is whenever you order? There's a lot of things that topple down under further scrutiny. So go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the point that you make also about being secure. I mean, we had that conversation when we looked at cybersecurity discussion about what content are we going to make available for that reason? And that's why you do need that. You can't just say, here it is, go ahead and do it and walk away.
Oh, yeah. No, there's a whole governance piece to AI that includes the whole security side. And
especially as models become smaller, as the hardware become more powerful, and we are able to run AI on the edge, like at the store level, how do you protect your data? For efficiency's sake, right? You don't need to throw all of the data to the model to do whatever you need to do. You need to be very intentional. But also, how do you ensure that you are not inadvertently creating a breach where someone can go and abuse and get a bunch of PII information, PCI information, well, I'm repeating information, PII, PCI, depends on what the industry is. So that, and that only comes from having the people at the helm have that experience, have that mentality. Because we don't know what we don't know. And if you have someone that hasn't had that exposure to technology at the helm, you're going to miss those pieces, which has its own problems regarding entry-level jobs, and there is a whole set of conversation there. But something that, Myra, you were mentioning, integration, and then transition that to scale. Where does modernization fit in all this narrative?
What do you mean by modernization?
A lot of the companies that try to change their platform, they call it modernization. Because I'm circling back to what you said, that we have candidly called legacy systems. And sometimes a legacy system is something that was just implemented last year, right? Like I'm modernizing, but you just finished.
Because it's happening so fast.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I want to hear your thoughts, where does the term modernization now fit in this conversation? Is it still valid to call it modernization if we are always improving, if we're always changing?
Well, I don't know if that's still a valid term or if that's the correct term or not.
Yeah, I think, as I heard you kind of describe it, I think of more as like iterations, right? And each iteration is an improvement. So, is it modernization? I don't know whether that's the best of terms. I don't know how else to describe it.
I like your iteration.
Yeah, but I think it's and that may be also old because of the whole Agile discussions that have gone on for years as well. But at the end of the day, it's to move things forward.
Yes.
Right.
But that's, I think, a change of mindset.
Yeah.
Yes. Because normally you want to get to a point in which, okay, mentally speaking, I got here, I finished. But in this mentality of things always changing, that's no longer on the table. You need to think about always your next thing. How can you, you got here, where can you go from here?
Yeah, so you do need that balance. You do need to always be, like we said, as soon as you put in your first installation, you're immediately thinking about what's the next version, what's the next iteration.
Right.
Yeah.
That either I know is coming or I don't even know about it.
Yeah. To me, modernization would be, you've made a decision to change a very big portion of what you're doing technology-wise.
Hopefully with the idea of getting to a more integrable solution, something that allows you to iterate afterwards. Because maybe where you are is not flexible, it doesn't allow you to move forward.
Right.
Maybe you want to get there. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you can think of each increment of integration that you might do as being modernization. To me, those are just continued improvement and continued iterations of what's in place. But if you're going to change everything or most everything, like in convenience, if you would all of a sudden say, hey, I'm going to change my back office system.
Right.
I mean, it's a big thing.
Yes.
And you're doing it out of modernization. Or you're developing something on your own to give you the capability to integrate. Right. Those are modernizations, and not to discount that use of that term.
Absolutely,
either.
Yes, yes. I can see how those programs can, or how as a leader, as a thought leader for my company, for the IT industry, for my store, as a retailer, how I can start thinking on those terms, to start seeing my technology footprint under a different lenses. So then I can start telling my people, hey, what do you think this will be better? Because recently we had one of the conversations, they brought in the business partners, and our business partners included people from the store, not just the district managers. No. We grabbed people from the store. They were able to come in, take a look at what's being decided in the executive table and provide feedback. Like, tell me what's actually happening out there in the store, what's failing you. Because we may be thinking on this nice feature, but if that's not going to help you to be better.
Yeah, my experience has always been if you can get a frontline employee engaged in a project,
Yes.
it's going to make a difference.
Yes. And the flip side of that is to bring as much of your headquarters team into the store. So it does go both ways. You want to bring a frontline in to talk as the plans are being made, and then also have your tech folks and your other operations folks that are putting the plans in place and the technology and the solutions into the store to see it in action.
We had my career in point of sale as a developer. Part of it was going to the store and run the point of sale. Because one thing is, it's working on my desk here in my development environment, but go out there, have a person in front of you that is actually buying stuff, and how you're going to actually interact, see if your feature, the way you thought it was going to work, actually works. That's always a great experience. And just to kind of get in on the wrap up here, what's one buzzword that you wish didn't exist anymore? Because it's creating noise, it's just making everyone it's misleading everyone. What's the one that you would get rid of?
Oh boy. Buzzword. Do you have one, Myra?
Well, there's not that buzzword, although what we keep hearing is, and I guess we couldn't call AI a buzzword. It's not
anymore.
A buzzword, no.
Yeah.
But where is it going ultimately? And we talk about artificial intelligence. There are so many, again, iterations of it. As we've just said, we can't totally remove the human piece of it.
And
so we don't want to get to the point where we're just going to turn everything over to AI, to artificial, or whether it's Gen AI or whatever machine learning, whatever mechanism it is. We don't want to get to the point where we're just abdicating everything to, AI is the solution for everything, and then walk away.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm with you 100%.
My buzzword, now that I've thought about it and heard Myra
gave you a
speaking,
chance.
thank you, is friction.
Okay.
Right? So
All right.
people, particularly like people at the helm, to use your phrase, right? They say we've eliminated friction by implementing X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
And it just doesn't happen, right? There's still so many friction points.
Yeah.
So to me, there's just got to be another word
Maybe
to describe what goes on. But
yeah.
Are people saying that, hey, we've addressed friction out of implementing this series of systems? But then you go there, somebody who follows the industry and hears what retailers are saying, hey, we've implemented this system to eliminate consumer friction. And there you are in their store, and there is friction all over the place. So to me, it's like there's got to be a better way of describing what you're trying to get to. But I don't know that you'll ultimately.
We just need to. I think the idea of bringing integration into the conversation, to think about your process and your platform and your organization differently. I think that's the way to start thinking about these issues differently and remove some of those misconceptions, right? That I really love that. Well, thank you very much. I really, really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you. It was great. It was great to meet you.
It was not a Q&A. No. There is no quiz. There is no test here. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.